Hello there guys, it's Joe here today for Aeterno, and we've got episode number 1 of a new series called the F1 Discussions. And yeah, it's a new series, as I've just said, and it's basically just going to be where I discuss F1. I can't believe I've just said that. But yeah, it is sort of self-explanatory, I guess. I'm taking the channel in a little bit of a new direction, I guess. It's going to be more opinion-based. From myself, I pride myself on my commentaries more than anything. I'm not a pro gamer at all, sort of like you. I'll leave that to Noble, TM at Mardic, Andrew Borch, you guys like that. I'll go my own way with my opinions, and I just thought that commentating over my gameplay wasn't really getting the viewers interested. More than anything, that was the reason why I chose to mix it up a little bit. I'll obviously still be doing the league action, and yeah, because that is sort of commentary based once more. But yeah, I guess I thought it was time for a little bit of change, and I think the opinion sides is the way to go. We've got F1 2004 playing in the background, and today is going to be discussing the game evolution, sort of over the last 10 years, what we've seen change in the F1 franchise. It did take a 2-year sabbatical. Between 2007 and 2008, there was no game released at all. That was sort of the stopgap between Sony giving up the license and it being taken up by Codemasters. But yeah, I mean, there's still been quite a few games, and there's been a lot of changes. There's been a huge amount of changes, as you'd guess when you change the producer of a game. But yeah, I mean, I picked this game up in 2007, I think, F104. It was the year that I got into F1. It was Lewis Hamilton's first year, and I'm a Lewis Hamilton fan, if you didn't know. Yeah, he's just sort of the guy who got me interested in Formula 1, really. I remember watching the first race of the 2007 season, and yeah, I mean, I've watched every single race from there, I guess. But it was a game that I picked up for a couple of pounds, and I honestly think that Codemasters can learn a few things from this game, as well as F105 and F106, which were big improvements on this game, but still, this is a game which has got a lot of things that I think should be on F1 2014 if I was working at Codemasters, but you know, it's not my decision. But I guess that we can discuss what is better. I mean, that's sort of what I'm here for. And yeah, I mean, there are some obvious changes from this game to 2013 that have been improvroved. Sort of the graphics, definitely. I mean, that's number one. They don't actually use laser scanning for this game for all the tracks. Nowadays they'll go in a vehicle and they'll laser scan every bit of the circuit to get it 100% accurate, and just literally put that on the game. It isn't quite that simple, but it sort of follows that sort of pattern. And the AI have definitely improved. I mean, you'll see later on in the video what I mean by that, but I think it was Arava actually who commented on his F1 Championship Edition video how annoyed he actually got with the Championship Edition just because of the AI. And he literally do 2 races, rage about it, and it's just impossible to play for more than a little while. I mean, I remember doing my first 100% race at Monaco on F1 2004, and my hands absolutely wrecked afterwards, just because of the pad, mainly. They didn't get the controls right at all. It used to be X for accelerate, which was a huge mistake. You literally, if you didn't plant your thumb into the centre of the earth, then it wouldn't register as full throttle. Your thumb would wreck after about four laps, and you'd just be on the verge of quitting the game and being so done, I guess. But yeah, I mean, that is definitely improved the pad usability, and probably with the wheel as well. I mean, I'm not sure, I've never been a wheel user, but it is definitely very much pad friendly now. On F1 2013, you've got players like Matty G, who I'll just take him as an example, who competes in ARL's top division, won at Silverstone obviously, and yeah, I mean, it's just become a lot more pad friendly. I think the design of the controller definitely helps, but I really don't think Sony helped themselves back in 2004, 5, 6, allocating X as the throttle. I mean, that really wasn't the way to go. It would have been A if it had been on Xbox, but it wasn't. It was only on the PS2 anyway. But yeah, I mean, the physics have just been a huge improvement. I mean, I can't applaud Codemasters for how well that they have actually done it. Sort of like the input throttle as well, that has improved hugely. But just the steering, handling, control has improved hugely. So yeah, I mean, I've gone on about the things that have improved, but I really honestly think that Codemasters can learn from some of the things that are on this game. I'll just take, for example, the OSD, the on-screen display. As you can see, and you will be able to see actually at the end of this race, which is coming pretty soon, that at the end of the race it comes up with the official results, sort of like the things that you'll see on FPS and ARL. But you know, that's a job on Photoshop, whereas on here he's actually there at the end of the race. Whereas Codemasters have just come up with their own little results. I'm not sure, animation. That's the word that I'm looking for. Sort of the results animation at the end, where all the results are shown as the AI stupidity is first showcased. Yeah, I mean, I think that would definitely be something to look at for the next generation of well, you can't really call it now. I'm not sure what to call it now. Sort of the Xbox One and PS4 isn't next gen anymore because it's already out. But anyway, so I really do think that's something that they could bring in on F1 2014, seeing as they've got the extra use. I think their excuse before was something like it would really down the frame rate or something like that. But yeah, I mean, I'm not sure they're lying, or well, I wouldn't say lying, but whether they're just exaggerating the fact that the frame rate would be decreased. But yeah, I think that's definitely something to look at for them anyway, as would commentary maybe for some people. I'm not 100% convinced that commentary is the way forward for Codemasters. I'd definitely say that an engineer, just a better engineer, sort of just making useful comments more than anything. He's just, and I'm not sure, it's just not useful when you've got your engineer talking to you. Literally, if you turn the HUD off and didn't access the race director, you would be absolutely screwed in F1 2013, because you would not know what is going on around you. It's like when you come out in the wet, when it's clearly intermediate weather and he's saying no, it's a dry track, he's clearly not telling the truth. That's the on-screen display that I was talking about. Obviously it has changed it changed in 2010, I believe. But yeah, I mean, it's different now, but I do think it's something that they can incorporate onto F1 2014. But yeah, I mean, another thing that I think they could learn, apart from the commentator having a better engineer, is just accessing replays. Something as simple as that. I mean, I really can't believe that it's on a game such as F1 2004 that you can see a replay of every car on the grid, and you can't do it on 2013. It's just ridiculous, it really is. I mean, say you've got a yellow flag out on the track, or there's been a crash, or you just want to see an overtake that somebody's made, you think, oh, why are they there, what's happened there? You can just go onto the replay, have a look what's happened, and you can't do that on 2013, which I think is just utterly ridiculous. But yeah, I guess that's my opinion once more, which is what this series is about, I guess. So yeah, I do think that they can look at that, and that the leap that Codemasters made from this generation of consoles, the PS2 and the Xbox, up to the Xbox 360 and PS3, the leap that Codemasters made was huge, and even Sony made on their F1 Championship Edition game. I do think that they made large jumps, and I really don't think it's going to be that easy to do it on the next generation of consoles, on the Xbox One and PS4. So I think that looking at things like the on-screen display, just sort of little things like that, and a formation lap would be great to see. And also adding classic tracks. I mean, I haven't been an avid player of the of the classic content, but I've definitely used the classic tracks. As you can see in the background here, we've got Magnicore. That is a track that I'd love to see, as well as something like Zandvoort or the Nordschleife circuit. But yeah, I mean, I think that is something. It's just sort of the refining on F1 2014 and F1 2015. Maybe even games further ahead than that. It's just going to be refining the game and adding lovely little features like that for the user to use, and just ironing out the glitches, which is probably going to be the main goal for Codemasters in 2014. The discussions that we've had today are probably going to be looking more towards 2015. But I have really enjoyed talking in this first episode. Let me know what you think about this series in the comments section, and I'll try and take some of your comments on board for the next episode. But yeah, we're coming to the end of this video now, and don't forget to leave a like. Hope you have a good day, guys, and until next time, it's goodbye from me.